just want to extend a couple thank yous, first and foremost to our administration and our fans for pushing hard and being able to acquire past few home games. It's a tremendous opportunity to host in this tournament, and we were afforded the opportunity to play 3 times at home, and that's doesn't happen everywhere. And I'm fortunate to say that it happens in Bowling Green. I'm glad to be a part of it. I want to thank our seniors. That's a group of kids that has 103 wins underneath their belt. It ties the 2007 class that went to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA. It's a fantastic number for them. They can be proud of that. I'm very proud of them for achieving that. Also, just want to thank the coaching staff. I thought they did a good job tonight in preparation. When you play in the WNIT or any postseason, it's extremely short turnaround. But as I said, short turnaround is better than no turnaround, for sure. But they did a good job getting ready for this game. Just want to also say congratulations to Drexel. Everybody knows Hallie Marchand now. It's a kid that's probably going to haunt a lot of BG fans and me for quite a while. That's a kid who's got 1,500 points in her career, almost 700 in this season alone. I was talking to their coach before, like what took her so long to wake up, and she said she's just an unbelievably hard worker. She's just a really fun kid to watch play. I thought she took over at the last 2 minutes of the game, and that was the difference. What was her play? She made 2 tough layups, had to put some spin on it going in. But I know Drexel will give Auburn a run for their money, for sure. That's a team that had Delaware beat in the Colonial Championship game, and if they win that, then you're looking at Delaware and Drexel in the NCAA, and with JMU going to the WNIT from that league. So that's an extremely talented team. But with that said, I mean, we hung with them. I thought we had our chance to win. We out-rebound them. We shoot the same number of foul shots, get 11 makes. We shoot a better field goal percentage. Both of us are in the 30s. Granted, we're 39 and they're 35. But they hit 3 more threes than we did tonight. They made 7. We made 4. That's a team that's ranked in the top 10 nationally in a couple different categories. And one category is 3-point field goal percentage. And they averaged 7 a game, and they hit that tonight. But we did hold them to 30%. Usually they're right under 40% on the season. So they have a lot of shooters, to say the least. But like I said, I thought Marchand stepped up and played extremely well. But I'm proud. And then you also look at Pearson off the bench. That's a kid who all she is a shooter, and the fact that she got loose on us to get 3, I thought that was a big difference in the game as well. But with that said, like I mentioned earlier, I felt that we had a chance to win. We had a good look at the corner for a 3 to go ahead by 1. Then we had a foul. We don't get a foul. Instead, we get a jump ball, in my opinion. And then instead, it ended up being a foul and 1-1 at the other end. And that's a team that's extremely talented at the foul line. Is also in the top 10 in free throw percentage in the nation as well. So with that said, we had our chances. It's hard to recap the season in one post-game interview. I could be here all night for everything that we've accomplished, but I'm proud of our effort tonight. And like I said, I thought we had our chances, but Drexel forced us into a lot of things that made us uncomfortable with both ends of the floor. And it was all around. It was just a good basketball game. I thought whoever could get to 55 tonight would win. I was mistaken. Whoever got to 50 was going to win. But we had our chances, and again, just want to congratulate Drexel. I think we're going to give Auburn a heck of a time down there.
Obviously, at the end of your first season, where would you evaluate? How would you evaluate the job you did in your first season, you think, as head coach?
Well, as I said, I've been mentored by Kurt Miller, one of the best coaches in the country, if not the best. I hear his voice a lot in my head. I don't know if that's good or bad. Most of the time I've joked with him earlier after the last game about that in particular with a couple play calls. But all in all, we lost 10 people from last year's team with staff and players to this year. When your travel party is only a little over 20, that's 50%. You lose two great leaders in Jess Lego and Mary Beth Geezy. But with that said, we had a lot of kids returning that were hungry. And for our kids to produce 24 wins, and our seniors in particular, like I said, to get 103 victories, I'm really proud of that fact. This is the latest Bowling Green men's basketball has ever competed in the spring. So it made it for a long year, indeed. But as I said, I was mentored by one of the best, and you always want more. So I wanted this game really bad for our kids, for our fans, and for the MAC. I thought the MAC had some great representation in Toledo and Ball State in this tournament, along with Akron and Miami. And at this time of year, you're playing for a lot of people.
Marshawn, in the last 3 minutes, Coach, what was it that she did that, I mean, she scored 9 points in this game. What was it?
Well, she got her average. She averages 19.
Right.
And she hit 32 against Harvard in the last game. So I told our kids before the game that she's going to get hers. We just can't give her a career night like she had against Harvard. She's that good of a kid. I mean, she really is. That's a kid that should be at a BCS conference playing. She's a professional player when her time is done because she can score on the block, she can score refusing a ball screen, she can score at the arc, she can score off the pull-up. But they gave her a couple flat ball screens at the top of the key, and she was able to penetrate. I thought we did a good job of trapping one when we forced a turnover. Then they got her a screen by Wutan on the wing. And she's that good of a ball handler that she can play with the ball screen and either refuse it or use it. And she did a good job. We had a couple different people on her throughout the night, but I thought she was going to look to take over in the second half. So I'm not surprised. She actually missed a couple point-blank layups before that, where I was like, okay, this is going to be our night if that kid's missing. But it was almost like that Aaron Craft effect when Aaron Craft missed that layup, he missed that free throw, and then who makes the shot at the end of the game in the OSU game? Aaron Craft. Holly Marshawn misses a shot early on. She's an unbelievable foul shooter. She misses a free throw. That's a kid that wants the ball back at the end of the game, and she made a play. We had good defense. I can't fault that. I can't fault our kids' effort. We had the right call on her, but the kid made a play.
When you talk about the defense on her, the first, let's say, 37 minutes when she only had those 10 points.
Well, she played the whole game. So she had to fight for everything she got tonight. And I thought we did a good job. She was getting catches further on the wing, on the block. She was getting bumped. She was screening more, but she was initiating the offense in the last 2 minutes of the game. That's the difference. She was running the wing. She can play 1 through 4 for them. And at the end of the game, the ball was in her hands. So Denise called a good game getting the ball to her, but everybody knew the ball was going there. The kid made a play.
When you talk a little bit about the slow start to each half, I mean, you kind of let them get away and had to reel them in both times.
If I could find a cure for that at the beginning of each half, I would say probably more so at the beginning of the second half, and to call an early timeout. We're down 8 early. I think 12-4, come back, take the lead. But they had momentum coming out at halftime, forced me to call it an early timeout. I don't know if we spend too much time in the locker room. I don't know if we don't spend enough time in the locker room. It's just something we got to figure out to do a little bit better. So getting back to your question, that's something I could do better. Figure out how to get us out of the gate a little bit quicker.
Coach, you said Drexel did some things to make you uncomfortable at both ends of the floor. What kinds of things really, what were the areas of discomfort, I guess?
They opened up the game, make miss, and their zone is really good. They've got a lot of kids that are the same height, about 5'10", Wooden's almost 6'2", and they're just big, okay? They're wide as well, and they're very active. So they open up emphasis on us. But then they went zone late in the second half, and it forced us into shots, looking for our shot 10 seconds or less underneath the shot clock. And then everybody gets a little nervous when that happens. So not only was that forcing us into eating up time when I'd rather play up tempo. I'd rather with them stuck to man, because I thought we could score earlier in the shot clock against their man. But when they come down at the other end and they run their, Villanova spread or Philly motion, whatever you want to call it, it's taking up time and they're controlling tempo. So their defensive change to zone late in the second half, I thought, gave us trouble, just because one of their length, and we weren't shooting the ball real well from the arc, and they were, when we did get the ball inside, we had to score over Wood, who was really big, really active, extremely physical inside. But their switch to zone, I thought, was a big key for them. But with that said, we had open looks against